Hey, you guys, welcome in and thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Brianna and I do godly content. So, as you come in, please hit that like button so we can get this godly content pushed out in this YouTube algorithm. Today, we're going to be talking about whether a blessing is from God or the devil. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Many people are not aware that blessings can come from God and blessings can come from the devil too. That blessings from God can look rough, but be exactly what you need to level up indefinitely, while blessings from the devil can look like shiny and look like what you desire and what you really want, but they can really be a trap. For example, when people sell their soul, they're not just selling their soul because they love the devil. Well, there are some people that love the devil or of the devil and the devil's children. However, a majority of the people that sell their soul, they sell their soul because the devil was shining dangly things in their face like fame and fortune. However, after they get that fame and fortune, there has been so many people and celebrities that have come out and said that fame and fortune does not bring them happiness. And another big thing that it doesn't bring them is peace, because peace is a blessing that comes from God. On the other hand, when you give yourself to the Lord, there is going to be rough seasons. There are going to be rough times where you are also losing a lot because God has to get rid of all the devil's blessings to make way for all of his blessings. And then on top of that, you will be pushed into situations, character development situations, where he has to get you ready for the blessings that he has for you of your heart's desires. So the devil's blessings imitate your heart desires, like a spouse that's not sent from God, a job that's not within your purpose, that may pay good, but it's not within your purpose, or materialistic things that came through corruption. While God's blessings can look like trials and tribulations to push you into purifying yourself into gold, where it can be like homelessness to put you in a position to where you're forced to truly trust God with your future, or a job that may just be temporary, where there's a lot of spiritual warfare directed specifically at you to push you into starting your own business. Yes, you get the cars, the houses, and all your other heart's desires when walking with the Lord, but it comes at perfect timing. When checking if a blessing is from God or the devil, first start by checking what the blessing itself is. God can use anybody or any situation to produce a blessing for you. And two situations can look similar, but one can be of God and one can be of the devil. So don't be using your own thinking, your own mind to determine if a blessing is of God or of the devil. Make sure you stay alert spiritually. Make sure you're fasting and you're praying and watching for signs, just to make sure that you're on the right track and the blessings are for you and they are of God. For example, everybody thinks that having a job working for other people is a blessing. It's not always a blessing, though. You can have a job that pays well, but it can be a blessing from the devil, because that job is literally sucking the life out of you and not giving you enough time to grow spiritually and not enough time to be with the Lord and grow with the Lord. So that's definitely not of God. While on the other hand, you can get a job that's a blessing from God. But a majority of the time, when we get a job that's a blessing from God, it's temporary, because God doesn't want us. 9 times out of 10, God does not want us working in these places, because when you go up to corporate or you go higher than corporate and you go to the owners, they're usually demonic people like Starbucks and McDonald's and these hotels, Marriott, all them places, you guys. Like it just is what it is. When we look at who really runs the world, it's people with money. And the Bible says that it will be harder for a camel to go through a needle hole than it will be for a rich person um to find God. And it's not saying that God is not going to bless us with money, because a lot of times we are blessed with money on our walk. Look at Job. But it's like it's how and where the money came from, and if it is of God as well. So a lot of times when he'll bless us with a job, it'll be a temporary job with a lot of spiritual warfare that pushes us to start our own business that is of God. And also at that temporary job, we'll be given the amount of time to be able to spiritually grow, because when we're starting our own business, we're going to need spiritual growth, spiritual guidance, while we need a little bit of money to produce that business of God. The next question you should be asking yourself is, what did you do to gain that blessing? Did the blessing come from lust, pride, or any other type of corrupt spirit? And was God involved in any of the process of gaining that blessing? I would say the last question that you should ask yourself is, do you feel conviction from that blessing? Because God will surely let us know what is right, what is wrong, what is of Him, and what is not of Him. And we can act like we don't know, but we really know. All right, you guys, that's all I have to say for today. Thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you so much for making it to the end. Please hit that like button so we can get this godly content pushed out in this YouTube algorithm, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.